Number 1, organization begets action. The lives of middle-class Americans specifically, this because that's me, right? And this is things I've learned, have access to most things at our fingertips. The world is supremely convenient. But for all the benefits this has, it makes me default to being really lazy. Sometimes that results in not doing things because they're not readily available. Your door's all jammy, right? And so in order to fix that, you've got to go outside and you got to grab the sandpaper, but you don't know where the sandpaper is. And also it's cold outside. And the creaky door's not that bad. So I honestly just, whatever. Fuck it. From what I've learned, there are 2 ways to fight this. One is having true resolve and willpower. And that's tough. I'm getting better at it, but all too often I'll just give up. So instead, I've decided I'm going to make things easier to do. And that is oftentimes in the form of organization. Things in the kitchen go where they are used. The spices will be in the area where I season my food, and they will be within arm's reach and accessible. Tools I need for the basic repairs should be accessible at the repair stations. And the caffeine electrolyte tabs, which you like a lot, but tip over because they're top heavy and they have a small base, which makes you want to put them in the back of the shelf so you don't always knock them over when you're reaching for other things. And if you tried to use them, you'd probably just knock one of them over, and they keep tipping over. They keep tipping over! Those get a holder to alleviate that. Organization makes things accessible. And things being accessible increases their utilization. You just do more stuff. It's like magic. Number 2, feel. For a long time, I would basically just power through my emotions. Emotions were my bitch. Why should I feel sad when I am surrounded by loving people who love me and I have honestly basically everything going in my favor? Why should I feel bad right now? And on the inverse of that, when things were going well, maybe I don't deserve it, right? Imposter syndrome. I'm not actually that good at stuff, am I? I'm having a good time. I should probably be working because all that stuff you've worked for could just go away like that. And then if you're not working and you can't bring yourself to work because you're burnt out, well, pathetic. You're better than that. You should work harder. And you should really be doing something right now. And you can't rest. What I think it comes down to for me is control. The idea that being in control of my emotions is good. And yeah, on one hand it is. There are positives to be controlling your emotions. Obviously, right? You'll probably do a lot better. You'll have healthier relationships. There's good things here. But that's different from not feeling them. Letting myself feel things, I've found, has brought peace rather than the constant battle that is just forcing your emotions over and over and over. I think we're built to feel things, and denying ourselves that has consequences that I've felt. And so it's this complicated balance of discipline versus feeling, and I haven't figured it out, but at least I know now that I should feel the good, the bad, the slow. It's just the human experience, and I feel more appreciative when I just feel it. Number 3, Facebook Marketplace is the shit, dude. Facebook Marketplace is the only good thing about Facebook, because otherwise, Facebook is just this monstrosity that is largely responsible for the short attention spans and vicious dopamine cycle habits that my generation has formed, and I have formed, where I just can't go without checking my little box. Ooh, there's dopamine in there. Ooh, you go to Facebook and you get what you want, and you go to Facebook and you get what you want. So now, it's all quick, it's all right there. Facebook is a piece of shit. But Marketplace is the shit. Turns out people are just getting rid of stuff all the time, around me, just constantly. Storage cabinet, free. Workbench, free. Couch. Hot tub. Spiral staircase. All of those I got for free on Facebook Marketplace. And that's not including any of the stuff that I actually just paid for, which was just hella good deals. It's cheap, and it reduces waste. And if I can reduce my waste while saving a lot of money, it's just the best, despite Facebook's best efforts to ruin the entire platform by populating it with just tons of dropshipping ads for cheap, peddled garbage. Man, they try to ruin everything they can, but it's still good enough. Look at Facebook Marketplace while you're pooping. Every day. Make a habit out of it. Number 4. An extrovert can learn to be alone. In this case, out of necessity. Because good things go. Things that you thought wouldn't go. Things that you weren't planning on going. Damn. And I actually did cry a little bit on camera. Myers-Briggs gives percentages to the categories that they do, and every time I've taken that test, it has been like 100% extroversion. I can't think of anything I'd rather do alone. Maybe like pooping, because that's my Facebook Marketplace time. But before COVID, for the first time in my young life at that stage, I was forced to be alone. And I remember I went on this solo trip to Colorado when COVID hit, right? All of my work cancels. So I get the funding from the government to keep small businesses afloat. And since I got literally nothing else to do, I go out to Colorado in the back of my Ford Focus, and I just go alone. And oh my god, I hated it. Like, people talk about solo travel being like this awesome thing, and I hated it. I was bored. I'd rather have somebody else here. It's the worst. Ugh. But it's still good. Positive. And there was no one to talk to, and things that, pissed me off about living in the back of my little Focus, I had no one to complain about, so they just started to wear at me, and I was like, ugh, and I realized that I had to probably, learn to be alone, because it's gonna happen. And when there's an absence of things become clearer, and I realized a lot about myself and learned a lot about how I go through things in life and how I process my emotions, of which there are many. But in the years since, while I've realized that I am more fulfilled with people, and that's fine, there's a lot of ways to do that, I've realized that I can just have experiences myself, and I can work through them myself, and I can practice that, and I have practiced that. And I miss having those go-tos and things to fill the gaps and things to help me work through my emotions. I think I probably would have been really happy if I just always was with someone all the time. I think that's going to continue to be the case, but the way things shook out taught me a lot. And I think, COVID forced a lot of people into a lot of situations, and it certainly did me. And I learned that an extrovert, and the most extroverted of extroverts pretty much, can learn to be alone. I mean, shit ain't simple. But speaking of shit, number 5, use a bidet. Oh my god. Why haven't we been putting bidets everywhere? My sister got one, and I remember trying it for the first time, and I literally took a video of it. I don't know why I'm videotaping this, but this is my first time using a bidet. Should it go? Oh! If you have poop on your arm, are you going to just grab a paper towel and just... That's good! Done, clean. No! We wash things with water, especially things that are covered in shit. And bidets are cheap. They're on Amazon, they're like $20 or $30 a piece, or you could go to Target probably and get one, or Walmart. They're not hard to install. They reduce your toilet paper waste. They are cleaner and easier on your bums. I am glad I learned about bidets in the first quarter of my life, hopefully, so I can use them for the rest of my life and have a cleaner ass. Number 6. I don't know. And what I mean by that is I just genuinely don't know in general. The way I was raised and the background that I came up with was one that very much so was certain about things. We could know the answers to everything, basically. And any person with this illusion of total knowledge and understanding of the universe that we live in, like I had this illusion, is left with two choices when confronted with something that fundamentally disagrees with their belief. You can either stand firm in what you believe in, or you can become open to what could happen. First option's comfortable because you could stay with what you know. That's your basis. It gives you control over your surroundings. It gives you control over your worldview. It gives you control over your trajectory. And the second option just shatters control. It shatters control, but it embraces reality. That can fundamentally change what you think about life. And for me, it did. Literally just acknowledging that I don't know. When I had worldviews that I just knew the answers, I was 16, so of course I thought I knew. I honestly might have been happier at that point because the bliss of ignorance, if you want to call it that, or at least the full-on acceptance and leaning into belief, is really comfortable and good, and it's honestly really good for a lot of people, right? This is not to say that everyone needs to just abandon belief and just go for total anarchy and fatalism. No, it's not that. It's not even a total disregard for what you believe, but just the acknowledgement that you could be wrong, and that getting rid of a fixed certain mindset, that's certainly what it was for me. It opens you up to feel what's there. And you can start to appreciate and live in the moment, or at least I have. I say it like I'm some Zen guru. No, I don't have this stuff figured out. I most certainly don't. Because again, this is a video about what I've learned. I can't speak to you, maybe you do know. Maybe you know, and if so you can tell me in the comments. I don't know, it makes life feel more precious, to me anyways. It's gotta hit everyone differently. It opened me up to learn again and appreciate. Giving up knowing ends up letting me live a richer life. And it's harder, and I might be slightly less happy. But I think maybe it's more real, and so the happiness that is there is richer. Maybe. Still figuring it out. Anyways, that's stuff that I've figured out for me in the first quarter of my life, 25 years. Finally got a frontal lobe. That was cool. I've got about 6 more months till I turn 26. And hopefully by then I'll have more figured out, especially healthcare, because I'm self-employed. So don't leave this video thinking that I was telling you what to do. This video is really more so for me. If you disagree with what I said in any of this, that's fine. I can't guarantee that the stuff I'm talking about works for people in really a lot of other mindsets, right? This is for me, and hence things that I've learned. But you'll figure it out too, I guess, huh?